Hi, can you send me the route you're gonna run or like the direction you're gonna run? Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you. Hello.
Hi, Emily.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Are
Good.
you are you out in New Mexico?
I am in San Diego currently.
Oh, San Diego.
Yeah,
Wow.
been a while. So
Nice.
I'm all over the place.
I can see that nice sunshine on the wall behind you.
I know it's so different from Maine. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm always, how are you, Betsy?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Um, I know I'm always, like I'm not used to being away from Maine, especially in the winter. It's so weird.
Oh, enjoy it.
I'm doing my best. All right. How is everybody? We have a small group. So essentially you three are the three, a small kind of winter challenge. But I love it. It means you all get extra individualized attention from me. So it's super fun. All right, fantastic. I got food photos and weigh-ins today, so that was wonderful. Question with, I know it's like a lot of steps, that first email that I send out. So let me just kind of run through the initial process of this Zoom today, which is really an overview of the first week, beginning steps, and basically everything that I sent out in that email, I'll touch on. And then we just kind of work from here, which is pretty cool, and start moving along. And then every week you'll have a new goal or something to continue working on from that past week. So first of all, let me just make sure that this meeting, great, Abby's joining us. This meeting is being recorded so that it is. Okay, fantastic. And then all of these meetings will get posted in the Facebook group after. So if for any reason you guys have to miss one, you can just log into Facebook and then view it the day after. So I'm going to try and keep these to 30 minutes. I know everyone's busy. Some may be shorter than others, especially if there's no questions or anything like that. But this is really just the place while we're going through things. If people have questions, like please butt in, please ask. And I'd love to have, conversation about things, because other people's strategies may be able to help you rather than say my strategy. All right, so I am going to start by sharing my screen. And we're going to go with this PowerPoint to start. If it gets too loud, ladies, let me know. I am outside from current slide. Okay, cool. All right, so the beginning, how many of you, so on the Facebook page, I have uploaded the nutrition cookbook with the phases, information. Was everyone able to see it and download that?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I haven't seen a invitation to the Facebook page. Like I clicked on the link and I signed up for it, but you haven't let me in the group yet.
Oh, okay. Let me double check that. Actually on my phone, Charlotte. Let's see. Interesting. All right, I will double check that after. I have 5 members. Charlotte, let me try and inviting you myself, because I don't see invite. Just to make sure we're all here. All right, I will text you after if I can't figure it out, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so under I have my phone here just as an example. Under files is where I've uploaded everything so far. So I have an eat out guide on there for strategizing in terms of eating out. And then I have the cookbook, which has all the phases and also goes through kind of step by step. If you're doing this with family members around, what are good conversations to have with them. And then there's also a PDF on there that I titled How to Know How Much to Eat. And just a kind of quick laid out instructions with hand portion measurements, which I'm going to get into when we get to that slide. But those are very personalized to your body. So everyone's a little bit different in terms of, you know, how much they should eat based on goals, based on body weight, a whole number of things. But this challenge is really trying to focus on the whole foods and making sure you're eating enough. A lot of, I think it really depends on some nutrition coaches, but we always want to make sure you're eating enough. We don't want to make sure you're eating too little because that can do harmful things to your metabolism, especially moving forward where it's actually harder to lose weight after you go through a diet that has you eating too little. So I don't really like to title anything as a diet. We're really just learning how to eat whole food space in a sustainable way that can last us a long time. So this was just a quick little word on change. I'm going to go to the next slide. Of course, if there are any questions, please let me know. Just what the 6 weeks entails, very similar to what I had laid out in the email. So this is a 7-day commitment a week, every day of the week. Notice the weigh-ins are Monday morning, not on a Friday. And so I really want to make sure that we're not thinking about weigh-ins as like a punishment, or I don't want people to have anxiety about a weigh-in. If you do talk to me, there are other ways that we can kind of measure your success or measure your progress, if you will, if a weigh-in isn't for you. So there are ways where you can fulfill your goals when you go out on the weekends. You know, you can still eat a very whole food based diet if you're going out to eat. So just keeping in mind, it's not just Monday through Friday, but also through the weekends as well, even if I'm not as responsive on weekends. The group nutrition every Monday night at 7, the weekly weigh-in with me, and then pictures. A note on the pictures really quick. I didn't want to put too many words in the emails. What I'm looking for in your food photos that you send to me, first note is snacks, anything you eat throughout the day, not just your meal, is a photo. So if you're grabbing a handful of almonds, if you're grabbing a handful of crackers, or quickly having a protein shake, you know, whatever it is, if you can just snap a quick photo to me, because that's really going to encapsulate all the calories you're eating in that day. And then I'm looking for a hand next to that food. So if my phone is the plate of food, I'm looking for your hand next to it so I can see that plate of food is either the same size as your hand or bigger, or you know, so I can also, I'm making sure I'm not freezing. I'm looking like I'm freezing a little bit. I'm good. Okay. Perfect. Thanks, Betsy. So I can see the portion size to protein, carbs, and then fats that you have on your plate. You don't need to write out what you're eating after the texts, a food photo that you send me, but if it's unclear, then that would be helpful. So if it's a big salad with a bunch of things in it, that would be really clear, because sometimes like I can't see an avocado that's hidden, or, you know, that sort of things. All right. Any questions before I move on? Awesome. All right, cool. So moving into the first overview, don't feel like you have to memorize anything that's on this page. just kind of a little look in terms of where we're going. So for this process, or I should say meal plan over the next few weeks, I really like to help people figure out what their body functions better with. Is it 3 meals a day or 4 meals a day? I'm someone who functions way better with 4 meals a day, just because I find the dip between lunch and dinner, that like 5-hour stretch of time, my blood sugar plummets and I get super hungry, very tired. So I ended up, after doing nutrition programs like this for a little while, figuring out that 4 meals a day, a breakfast around 8, a lunch around 11, a second lunch around 3 p.m., and then a dinner worked the best for me. So those are things that we'll experiment with. So this first week, the goal here is 3 meals a day at least. And then if you're someone who's working out, if you're someone who's going on long walks, if you're doing hill walks, if you're doing Pilates or yoga, whatever it is, adding another protein source to that day. So essentially a snack, or you can call it that form. So that's what we're looking for this week. And then moving ahead, we'll be figuring out, okay, we did a week of 3 meals. Now let's see what 4 meals feels like. And you can kind of pick where your body feels the best at, you know, fullness wise, blood sugar wise, just to feel your best and have the best energy levels throughout the entire day. All right. A note too on those phases, once you guys download the cookbook itself goes up to 6 phases. I won't be going up to the 6th phase. That phase is strictly protein and veggies. I'm looking at this as more of a holistic standpoint. You need carbs to function. You need carbs for brain health, for fast energy. Carbohydrates are good. They are not bad. That's if someone was really looking to, say, lose a lot of either weight fast for an event, or like they're doing a bodybuilding competition, which I really no longer coach for. So that 6th phase is really not something we'll be getting to. Okay, one of my favorite slides. So we are looking at foods that you can eat. And I want you to look at it in terms of more of everything I get to eat versus not looking at all the things you can't eat, right? Because then that feels very limiting. So I'm thinking a lot of foods, you're thinking from the earth, from the ground. It's really loud. I'm gonna wait a second. From the ground, whole foods based. So we're thinking like sweet potato, white potato. Don't let someone tell you white potato is bad. They are good. They're from the earth. Rice, quinoa. We're thinking vegetables, squashes, especially since we're in that winter period. All of those good winter hardy winter squashes are fantastic. And then lots of like lean proteins that you find at the grocery store, as well as fruits. We're going to talk a lot about too, but those generally, fruits are classified in terms of a carb, healthy carbs, healthy sugars, but fruits would fall into that whole food category as well. Number 3, drinking water. Drinking water, super, super important. What I'm looking for, at least to start, and you may want to make a note of this, is we're looking for your body weight, half your body weight in ounces of water every day. So that's kind of the standard for water consumption. So what I'm thinking here is I'm not gonna ask too much about tracking water, but I'll be checking in with you on water just to make sure. Water is such a fantastic way for your body to basically pee out the toxins that it intakes during the day. It's actually a fantastic tool to help you flush out your system, help you lose weight if that is your goal, and all around have higher energy levels and feel better. So being hydrated is such a, I think it's even underestimated with how much being hydrated really helps your body function just to that next level. Okay, my kind of term here, America created the snack, just like rings so true to me, because in America, all of the nuts and the cheese and the crackers and all of those packaged goods that you see in the grocery store, it's so Americanized. And that's really where you could be eating 3 meals that are so healthy and whole foods based, but the majority of your calories are coming in from the snacks. And you're like, but I eat so well. It's because snacks have generally like double to triple the amount of calories in them, packaged snacks, as whole foods. It's just packed in. So we're trying to, you know, stay away from that snack term and think of things in terms of more, oh, I'm gonna eat 4 meals today. So we're thinking in terms of whole foods rather than 3 meals and 2 snacks, where you think of that bag of chips or those cheese and crackers, that sort of thing. And then it's okay to be hungry. It's okay. That means your metabolism is moving. Things are good. You want your metabolism on and turned on and moving. But I want to make sure you're not too hungry. So maybe you're just hungry, you know, the hour up leading up to dinner or the hour leading up to lunch. That's okay. But I don't want you feeling like you're starving 50% for 50% of the day. That's when we're going to kind of look at the amount of food you're eating, and I'll be able to say, oh, okay, doesn't look like you're eating enough protein. This is why you're so hungry. Let's add in another serving of protein here at your meals. Any questions on this stuff so far? Okay. Everyone's freezing. So as long as I'm coming through clear, I'm going to keep going. Okay. All right. So there we go. Next slide. Okay. So this is just kind of thinking about your plate and then breaking every macro, if you will. Macros are what our food is made up of. So every vegetable, every meat, every, you name it, falls under either a protein, carbohydrate, or a fat category. So we want to make sure that the chicken, the edamame, the tofu, the beef, whatever that protein source is that you're eating, you're getting enough of it. 4 to 5 ounces per meal, which may seem a lot. A lot of packaged goods will say 3 to 3.5 ounces of protein per meal, and you actually want a little bit more because we're looking for more around 30 to 35 grams of protein per meal. Again, another little saying, no one ever got fat off eating too much protein. Protein is such an essential building block for your muscles, your brain, for everything, that you could eat all the protein in the world and nothing else and you'd be the leanest person in the world. It is also satiating. So when you eat a full meal and you're still like craving something or you're still kind of hungry, it's normally because we haven't eaten enough protein, which is really what's going to satiate and fill you up. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are awesome. Fantastic for quick energy. If you're going into a workout, having a rice cake, having a bowl of oatmeal, even rice, an apple, a banana, those are quick carbs that your body can utilize really, really fast. Fantastic. Vegetables, We want to get our micronutrients, which are all the vitamins and minerals that your food is made up of. The whole foods anyways, nothing processed really. So I want to make sure in this challenge that you're getting at least 2 servings of vegetables a day. If you can make it 3, fantastic. All right. Moving on to essential fats. So basically, fats house, or really great fats house, omega-3s. So again, brain function, brain health. Fats are also really important for women in normalizing women's hormones. So your hormone levels and your hormone reproduction levels. So for women, getting enough essential fats in your diet, think of avocados, think of nuts, think of olive oils, salmon, super important for just making sure that you have really healthy hormone levels, and it's going to help you stabilize them. Any questions here? Okay. If we have no questions, I'm just checking on the time. Perfect. Okay. This is really the slide that I wanted to get to. This is what we're going to be working with for most of the challenge here, is hand portions. So we really want to find a healthy, sustainable way to measure our food without becoming, I want to say, kind of obsessive about it in an unhealthy way. So what we want to think about is our hands were made to the size and shape of your body. Hands are very personal, if you will. So in this guide, what I want you guys to think about is when you're eating protein, there's one flaw in this photo. I want you to think about 2 palms worth of protein in a serving, not the 1 palm that it shows in the photo. 2 palms, that's going to be like a chicken breast. That's going to be like 4 egg whites, maybe 1 egg yolk. Egg whites have the protein, the egg yolk is the fat. So we're really focusing on putting that protein that's the first thing I want you to think about when you're creating your meal. Serving of vegetables. If you eat more than a fistful of vegetables, congratulations, keep doing your thing. That's awesome. This is really for someone who doesn't eat enough vegetables. And then serving of carbs. So I'm thinking when I hold up a hand for a serving of carbs, this is a really small spoonful of rice. I'm thinking like a nice little mound. You want to make sure you're getting enough rice there. And then that thumb size for a serving of fat. It's a little accurate, but mostly inaccurate because it's really hard to only eat a thumb size of avocado, which I'm not asking you to do. So think of any fats that are in like an oil form, because realistically, a thumb is like a tablespoon worth, which is really that amount of, say, olive oil or nut butter, like peanut butter or almond butter, that you would eat in one sitting anyways. Everything else is pretty true to the back of the label of that food you're consuming. So a bag of, say, nuts or trail mix, 1/4 of a cup. Sounds so small, but that's that serving size. An avocado, 1/2 of an avocado. I would stick to 1/2 of an avocado, not the full avocado, just because they are, an avocado is a fat. And fats have more calories per gram than carbs or protein. Okay. I'm moving on to the next slide. If I can get my computer to respond. This is so hard. I'm trying to look at your guys' faces for reactions, but everyone's delayed. All right. So this is just, I'm going to leave this on the screen here. This is kind of everything we just went through, but laid out in terms of your first meal, your second meal, your third meal. So I can also screenshot this and upload it to the Facebook page. And then again, if you are working out, your workout could be any time in the morning or in the evening, and just make sure around that workout, you're say getting that extra scoop of protein with a carb, like a banana or an apple or some oats.
So Emily, are you saying that we should have that protein shake before we work out?
Great question. So there is a myth that you should have that protein shake and it will only be effective if you have it after you work out. That's not actually true. While that protein is in your system surrounding that workout, whether it's the hour before, during the workout, or the hour after, it will still be utilized by your muscles to use that protein, shuttle that protein. This is why you need a carb. Carb helps shuttle the proteins to the cells in your muscles. So you need them both to get the protein to those muscle fibers for it to even be utilized. But you can have that protein shake the hour before, during, or the hour after, and it will be utilized as long as it's kind of in your system and in your body to be used as a recovery mechanism. Does that help, Charlotte?
Can I ask a question?
Please.
The no high GI carbs for the third meal, can you explain
yeah.
that?
Yeah. So the higher GI carbs, I'm thinking like pastas. I'm thinking things that are processed or kind of pack a lot of punch for the serving size. So I'm thinking, so if we say bread is a high GI carb, just because it's processed and there's a lot of carbs in generally a slice of bread, I'd rather you had bread in the morning or at lunch, because you're going to use and burn that that energy throughout the day, rather than having it at night before you go to bed, where you're essentially not kind of using those calories other than maybe to recover if you've done a hard workout that day as your body sleeps. So I'm saying here, I'd rather you have more carbs earlier in the day where you'll use them than at night before you go to bed.
Okay.
Awesome. Great questions. Any other questions? Okay. Let's go to, oh my God, it's like been half an hour. This time flies. It's so crazy. So goals for this week: 3 meals a day, send me photos, plus an additional meal or protein shake if you are working out. We're focusing on whole foods, and then food photos to me with everything you're eating. Questions so far?
Emily, I think for me, I've been going to the 8 a.m. workout class, and I just have like a coffee with oat milk before I go to class, and I have a shake when I come back. So that will be a real challenge for me to have a shake before I go work out.
Yeah.
Well, not a challenge. I mean, just kind of have to remember to change my habit.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say, if you feel fantastic working out on an empty stomach, continue to do so, Charlotte. I would just have it within that hour after you exercise of when you're done. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I would say honestly, I don't really like to have a big protein shake before I work out either, because it sits in my stomach. If you're looking to eat something before you work out, I always suggest a piece of toast a rice cake or oatmeal, because that's a carbohydrate that will be used immediately in that workout. So if you're someone who, say, gets dizzy, or like, you need a source, an energy source for your body to pull on when you're working out, I always suggest a carb rather than a heavy protein shake anyways, just digestion wise. Cool. All right, I am going to stop sharing this real quick. We are just about done. But I am going to just stop sharing this one and then share one page of the nutrition book. So you guys can kind of see where to focus in on this week. If you have more questions as well. And if you have more questions, please just shoot them to me in a text or an email. If I don't see your text, I generally will only go in to see the text when I'm going in to review everybody's food. So if you need an immediate response from me or have a question, I highly suggest emailing me instead. I will be a lot more responsive immediately because I'm always checking my email. All right, cool. Okay, very last thing I'm going to share, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Share screen options. Is this cookbook? Share screen. Okay, cool. We're going to go here. All right. So everything we just kind of reviewed, I am in maybe the 3rd page of the cookbook. You're going to find it kind of right here. So it goes into carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and then what your plate should look like. So if you're a plant-based eater, an anytime meal, which is during the day, and then that post-workout meal, you're really going to find those carbohydrates have been added in to have with a larger serving of protein and vegetables, so you can use those as a recovery. And whether it's a meal or a protein shake and a banana, it's the same thing. You're still getting all of that protein and you're still getting those carbohydrates. Maybe not the veggies and the fruit, like if you're eating a meal, but essentially you're still getting that same thing. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fantastic. So those are kind of the 2 pages to review in the cookbook, and then it gets into ideas for breakfast, lunches, and dinner as you go through, just giving some, some options of what are good meals or good things to eat. Betsy, I'm going to add some vegan options to the Facebook page, so you have those to refer to as well. And then if you keep scrolling through this, there is also a recipe section in case you guys want to try new things. Fantastic. All right. So, Charlotte, I'm going to make sure we're good with Facebook and you're added into the group when I hang up.
Okay.
Any other questions? Fantastic. All right. I will be in touch with everyone via text.
All right. Thank
All right.
you.
Nice job, you
Have a
guys.
good
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.